All right, so this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Dead Sleep. I'm giving this one 3 out of 5 stars. I thought it was all right. This is going to be an Australian horror flick starring Linda Blair. It's a psych ward movie. It kind of drags on like a television movie. For some reason, the female patients in the psych ward are lacking clothes, presumably because the doctor is having inappropriate relations with the patient, and he's committing all kinds of malpractice. He's got some kind of wacky electroshock therapy, deep sedation, and that should have raised some alarm bells right from the beginning. A psychiatrist doing deep sedation seems kind of far-fetched and hard to believe. But anyways, I guess he's been doing malpractice for like 25 years or so, and nobody does anything until Linda Blair gets hired as a U.S. nurse at this guy's psych ward, and she starts complaining and getting herself into all kinds of trouble. At first she quits because she can't stand working this place that treats the patients like they're a bunch of sheep and stuff. And so she runs into this lady who's like a social justice warrior kind of thing, and they tag team up to rescue the patients from this mad doctor. It's kind of ironic that these head shrinkers are doing malpractice all the time. I know from personal experience having to deal with an idiotic psychologist during my divorce, and it's just having to see head shrinkers when I was a kid just made me completely adverse to the psychiatry profession. I think all of them are like quacks and essentially doing malpractice, but the risk is very low, even with the electroshock therapy, in terms of malpractice. I don't know if it's because it's hard to prove that a head shrinker is actually committing malpractice, or maybe their profession in general is just less adverse to having bad outcomes. I don't, or maybe it's more adverse to having it's I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's less likely to have bad outcomes. I'm not sure, but that doesn't change my opinion of psychiatry, just from my own personal subjective standpoint, not from any objective standpoint. And so, I like psych ward films. Shock Corridor is great. What's another good one? Spider is another good one. Dementia Daughter of Horror. Good stuff. So I like the genre. I like the ending very much. I didn't think any of the Aussie babes were that attractive, honestly. But there is a lot of nudity in this one, and none from Linda Blair, of course, but she looks pretty good in a nurse costume, I guess. Not very believable, but some of her lines are kind of inane and inappropriate. For instance, she says something like, "I can't believe how you could be so," and then she pauses and says, "obnoxious." That's probably the most infamous scene in this one. It's a direct to video. There's no bonus features on this disc. It's an artisan disc, and so getting back to the story, she teams up with this social justice warrior, and they're going after this doctor. She agrees to be rehired so that she can like steal files and mess up their injections and stuff. So eventually the doctor catches on to this. He tries to put Linda Blair under deep sedation, electroshock therapy. They call it ESI for some reason. Maybe it's called something different in Australia. I don't know. But there's a scuffle, and the ending is pretty spectacular. But like I said, it's kind of slow, and it plays like a TV movie, so it's not that great. But I'm willing to give it 3 out of 5 stars. I think it gets a 4.6 on IMDb, so I'm being a little generous there. But I'm pretty close. I'm in between. I'm on the high end of the rating for this one, probably, or at least higher, but I'm still pretty close. So not a great flick. I'm not going to say highly recommended. I'm not going to post the movie or the trailer in the description box. I'm not giving it thumbs up. It's kind of a thumb sideways kind of thing. And I'm not going to say check it out. So that's about it. I got one more, Monster Makers. I'm going to try to get through this one tomorrow in between naps and whatnot. And we'll take it from there. I guess I'll be watching Radley Mesker after that, probably on late Friday, early Saturday, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. I got to take my son to Spaghetti Factory, get some gas later.